Hi, today I'm here with Justin Milligan from RM Legal and Conveyancing. Thanks for coming along, Justin.
Thanks, Mike, for having me.
Pleasure. I want to talk to you though. I'm going to make you work for your glass of water just off camera there. I want to talk to you about sales falling over. So believe it or not, from chatting with you, agents are great at listing properties and putting deals together, but not necessarily making them stick. And I know a number of agencies have contracted you to come in and teach them how do we get something that's exchanged actually settled, because that's when they get paid, right? They need it to settle to get paid.
Yes.
And they're putting these deals together and saying to you, could you make sure that sticks? Because I need the new Tesla Model 3 which is coming out. So what goes wrong, and what are you teaching agents?
Look, the biggest thing most people get caught on is thinking that there's a thing called a holding deposit. So an agent will say to them, well, your offer's accepted, you want to put down a deposit, giving the idea that there is that'll take the property off the market, and it doesn't. I say to all my clients, the only place you can put a lay-by these days is Kmart. You cannot lay-by a house. So, don't use a holding deposit. Well, there is no such thing, but don't think that the deposit will hold the property. There's two things you need to do. Put down a deposit, that is one, but also sign a contract. Now, if you sign a contract with the agent, that's fine, but generally you will only get a 5-day cooling off period. So then I look at it as a point of view of where's your finance coming from? If you're borrowing money, is your lender going to be ready in 5 days? In the current environment, no chance. It's going to be closer to 8 or 10 days for finance to be unconditionally approved. So there's two parts of the lend: pre-approval, unconditionally approved. That's where we want to get it to before the expiry of a cooling off period. Because
people often say, look, I'm pre-approved, I've got this sort of ceiling, and agents should probably be checking, like, how are you, which bank, you're pre-approved. You're telling me that doesn't happen, and even pre-approval's not good enough. No,
definitely not. No. It's a really tough thing with the current lending environment to be able to say, look, I've got my pre-approval. Now, we can talk 2 years ago. Pre-approval, it was pretty much lay down the Z, you'll get the loan.
Yeah, you could take it to the bank, literally.
You would, yes.
I'm not happy with that. We'll leave it in.
So you could take that to the bank. And you could basically have the confidence to go out there. They used to issue pre-approval letters. Although you won't see those anymore because it's not worth the paper it's written on. Valuations are sometimes coming in under. Okay, so it puts the buyer in a difficult situation of, well, should I sign a contract or not? The positive about signing a contract, if you think it's a good deal, if you're an investor and you don't want to miss out on that property, lock it in by signing the contract. The most you'll lose during the cooling off period is a 0.25%. Talk to your lawyer or conveyancer. We've got both with our company, but talk to either of them, whoever's representing you, to see if you can get that cooling off period extended. If they say no, well, you've probably got to get finance within 5 days. And if that's not going to occur, you will lose the 0.25% deposit.
Ouch,
Now, depending on the price of the property, it could be ouch, or it could be a case of, if nothing goes wrong, you've locked in that property. Now, if that vendor had an offer of $1 million more than what you offered, they can't do anything about it. The vendor's not locked in. The vendor is locked in.
To you,
the purchaser isn't. No, so it's a case of you have the right as the buyer, you have the right but not the obligation to buy within that cooling off period. Once that expires, you're locked in, and death is probably the only thing that'll get you out of it.
You're right.
Pretty extreme.
So you're basically teaching agents, obviously, the legal technicalities, but it's really about qualifying the buyers and understanding the pieces of the puzzle that have to come together to put a deal together.
And getting those pieces together within a set period of time. So saying to an agent, I'll sign the contract to take it off the market. You want to say to the agent, I want to sign with, if you only have a 5% deposit, look, I want that as part of the conditions. Is your settlement period right? What's the time on the contract to completion? Is it going to fit within your time bracket? Could it be 12 weeks and you haven't looked yet? They're the things you should be looking through, and that's why you get the contract, you send it to someone like us, let us have a quick review of it and say, these are the things you should be looking at. Let's create a plan of attack. So then when you go in, it's going to be the best offer that suits you and also the vendor, if they accept it. But they're the better ways to go about it, rather than, I'll just wing it and hope.
I pay people like you to make it go away. And I suggest that's all you've got to do, right? You don't have to be interested in it, you don't have to understand it. You just need someone like you, pay for it to go away, and make sure you're not having that ouch moment.
Exactly, So we just help you plan to put that jigsaw puzzle together as quickly as possible and with the least amount of stress. Because the lack of knowledge will cause the stress. If you've got someone holding your hand saying, well, we've looked at the contract, we think these are the things you should know about, does that fit within what you want to do? Yes, it does. Great. You're going to walk in there with a lot more confidence and know how to negotiate a lot better, because everything else is covered. You only have to focus on the offer you're making.
Great advice. Thanks for joining us.
No worries at all, Mike. Thank you.